Hello everyone, my name is Ayomide Emmanuel Agbola. Welcome to my SQL learning documentary. Today we will continue with our join, and we were talking about inner join in the first video, which we are going to continue in this current video. In this video we'll be joining 4 tables together. In the first video we joined 2 tables. Here we'll be joining 4 tables. We are still following the same process like the first video. And in this video, we have the query to run to be write a query that return the cabinet name and first person who opened it and their role. And the tables to explore, we have cabinet table, we have personnel, cabinet log, and roles. And from our schema, when you check your cabinet's name, you can find it under the cabinet. We have the cabinet's name under the cabinet. And first person, it means the person that opened the cabinet is under personnel, where we have the first name and the last name. Who opened this? That's the person that opened it. And also their roles. We want to also look for their roles, the roles of people that opened this cabinet, which is under roles. We have the roles under roles. Yeah, that's the role name. We are going to be returning the cabinet name, the first name of the person that opened it, the last name of the person that opened it, and the role name. We don't have anything to do with the opened it in this query, because the query wants us to return the cabinet name, the first person's name, the first person that opened its name, and their role. So we start our select statement with cabinet name as it is in our schema, cabinet name, and the next one will be the first name and the last name of the person in the personnel table. In this inner join, like we said in the first video, it is helping us to bring together things that matches in different tables. And I said we can join more than 2 tables, which we are trying in this current video. We'll be joining 4 tables in this video, and we are joining only with the common ID, which is the foreign key and the primary key. The primary key of a table will become the foreign key of the other table when you are joining. Okay, so we have listed what we want to return in our select statement, and we have our from to be from the said. When you are dealing with inner join, you can use any of the table you are using. So you are using cabinet log as CL. We are going to use our alias because we are still going to need it in our subsequent query lines. And inner join to be with cabinet. I think we have cabinet and cabinet log to have the same thing in common in this database. Cabinet table and cabinet log table have something in common, which is the cabinet ID, and cabinet as C. We are joining them based on what they have in common. The primary key of cabinet table is also in we have cabinet ID, and we also have it in cabinet log to be also cabinet ID as a foreign key in cabinet log. So we are joining them together based on that. And I also want to put all these aliases before our our column names in the table, so we will know where we are picking all these columns from. So the cabinet name is from the cabinet table. So we are joining with we are joining them on cabinet ID. The cabinet ID is the primary key in cabinet, and it serves as a foreign key in cabinet log. So that's how we are joining them. If you don't have anything in common, it will not work. So we are still joining another table again. The table to join now is personnel table. We want to join personnel table now. And the personnel table has something in common again. We check what it has in common with any of the 4 tables that we have. and I will name it to be P. It has to be okay. We are joining them based on something that they have in common. On the personnel, on the person ID, let's check the personnel table. We have person 1 ID in cabinet log. We have person 1 ID, we have person 2 ID. The reason for that is that they are divided into two, where we have the senior worker and we have the junior worker. The senior worker can open certain cabinet, where the junior worker can also open certain cabinet. So we are using the person 1 ID to join these together. Person 1 ID equals to the P dot person ID, which is the primary key in the personnel table. Person 1 ID is a foreign key in cabinet log table. So we are joining another table, which is the rows. This row table also has, we're going to look at what it has in common, and I'm aliasing it to be R. What does rows has in common with either of these tables? Let's check. We have row ID in rows. Let's check cabinet log. Do we have rows there? We don't have rows. Cabinets, we don't have rows there too. So we have rows ID here. In rows, we have rows ID under rows as R based on row ID. So we have P dot row ID. We have row ID in personnel. We have row ID in personnel. We have P dot row ID equals to R dot row ID, which is the primary key of row table. Of the rows table, we have R dot row ID. And I said I want to put the table that all these row that all these column represent. And I said first name is in P personnel table, last name is in P personnel table, and row name is in R rows table, to identify them in case we have tables that has same name of columns. That's why we are using that, so it will not be giving you a bug when you run. So we have our table to return this with our join. So this join is just telling us that we can join more than one table. We can join more than two tables rather. We can join 3, you can join 4. No matter how long you want your join to be, you can join any table. Just be sure of what you are joining them on and their common ID. And also, I want us to know that we can remove inner before our join. Ordinary join also will work. If you are just using join for your inner join query, it will work. Now, if you run it again, it will still give us the same result. I hope you understand all this and we can practice them in our training and also apply them on the job. Thank you and see you all in my next video.